your three favorite political and sports analysts, all in one place, all here for you. Um, Today we're gonna get right into it, and this episode is not gonna be very politics heavy. We were supposed to have a guest. Shout out to the homie Jake from across the pond. Um, but due to some time differences and things of that nature, flights and things, we've had to reschedule. So we'll have the good bloke on again. But like I said, this will not be politics heavy today. So let's get straight into the madness. Last night, the President of the United States addressed the country, which seemed to be a lackluster performance. Nobody really seemed to, really be that enthused by what he said. Did anybody happen to watch?
Not at all.
I was about to today, but then I thought to myself, I gotta stand on my principles and
What are your principles?
keep the blinders up, man. I really I don't want to derail. I really just wanted to see, and I didn't see if he did at all. But like, did he say anything about in the speech about my cats that are on the shuttle and shit? Like, he didn't say anything about
I
that.
was gonna I was gonna ask you to do a whole thing about that before we got into real banter because I know that's kind of your expertise. That's where you kind of.
I mean, but did he? Is he just talking? Did you watch it, Joe?
No, buddy, I don't watch people just lie to my face.
You don't
Like you
you don't watch
gotta,
stand up specials, bro? That's a good stand up special, man.
you know what? From that aspect, you are right. I should have seen it, but I don't know. I just didn't think he was going to say anything worthwhile. And lo and behold, he didn't say nothing much. He just talked about the war essentially. Like he just talked about a lot of different things going on with the war. So, um, shout out to him because I think he played it up. I think like I said, it was him, Britain, and the Australian Prime Minister who all addressed their nations. The latter two seem to have actual things to talk about. They talked about energy and conserving of oil and fuel. Trump didn't really say anything about nothing. He just said that there's 2 to 3 more weeks with this, and that was kind of about it. Or am I missing something? Is there something that he did say that I didn't catch? Or
I mean, the headline that I saw literally was 2 to 3 weeks.
yeah,
So I'm guessing that's
All
all
I
he
saw
said.
was he said something about the war coming to an end with no real timeline. So I honestly don't know what was said. I didn't listen to any clips. Like, bro, I gave this no oxygen whatsoever.
he had an actual. I did see one good clip where he said he can't give people Medicare. He can't give people. Basically, he can't give people government essentials because he's fighting a war. And I was like, that sounds kind of the opposite of what you ran on. Like the whole point of view, like the whole him running was that he wasn't gonna do the forever wars and all that stuff. So I definitely thought that was an interesting uh, tidbit that he said that so openly. And then I saw that the whatchamacallit took that down. The White House social media pages took that down. So that was definitely a interesting little tidbit. Like I said, huh?
I said nothing. I'm just laughing.
Oh yeah. Like I said, we're not going to talk a lot about politics today, but for some reason he likes to fire people on Thursday. And shout out to Pam Bondi. She is the latest. Um, hold on. Before we get into her actual firing, do you think Trump has a thing against women? Because
That's a
he fired Caroline, he's fired Pam. Apparently, there's reports that he wants to fire Tulsi. There's a he wants to fire who's the other lady? Who's the press secretary? Apparently, there's rumors that he wants to fire her as well. Or was
Caroline Levitt.
so he fired yeah, he wants to fire Caroline Levitt. He wants to fire Tulsi. He's fired Pam, and then he fired the other lady whose husband was cross dressing.
Christy Long.
Christy, I'm sorry, Caroline and Christy was who I was getting confused. So he's fired Christy, he's fired Pam, he wants to fire Tulsi, and he wants to fire Caroline. Are we seeing a trend here?
I mean, same guy that said grab him by the pussy, man. It's just like, What do you like? He's been shown us who he was, brother. Like, if it's anything, it's just like he knows the game. It's just like, oh, okay, like public is caught wind of this. You're a woman, gotta go. If you're a man, you may be able to bounce back from this unless you're Anthony Weiner. If you don't know what he did,
Mhm.
Google that. Um, and so it's just like, yeah, bro, like he don't really care. Like as you can see, he's a convicted sex offender is the one that's like doing this.
Not convicted, a charged sex offender, because he was never actually convicted. He was charged with these counts, but he didn't actually get convicted by a court of law.
Touche. Well, he
Absolutely.
settled. He settled out of court with one lady. So if you settled,
He did settle with who was the lady who the first lady, the actual the mattress actress.
yeah, her, but he settled with somebody else too recently.
Well, no, we found out in the Epstein reports that that Epstein's estate settled with a victim, and they settled for him and Trump. I think
Yeah.
that is what you speak of. But to your point, he has been, if even if he hasn't been formally,
If that estate had to settle for you, you were in communication with said estate.
even if he wasn't formally convicted, to your point, he has had a lot of things that would rub a lot of people the wrong way if their person was charged with such things.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, oh, okay, like you're the big high and mighty of moral code. Like, so it's funny, but at the same time, it's just like, bro, like we know who he is. Like, I don't know why anybody would expect anything less of him. Like, he did the same thing in the first administration.
Yeah, I feel like though the people he fired were want to say less important. And to that point, the last thing I want to say, and then we can get off the. I swear this time we will get off the politics early. I swear. I don't know if you guys saw, but the defense secretary fired Army Chief of Staff General Randy George. He asked him to step down today, and from everything I've seen, people believe that he asked him to step down because there's a conflict in something that we have talked about pretty much on this. What we have talked about a lot on this show. Will there be a ground invasion in Iran?
Mm.
And from a few different reports I have seen, a few people uh, who are, I would say, not reporters, but who have been giving out information, who I've been following during the course of this war, have basically said that um, it's pretty safe to say that Randy George and Pete had some difference in ideology. Pete even came out and said that he wants people in positions of power who will fulfill the president's mission or fulfill the president's goals. So to me, that really speaks to a difference in objectives. It seems as though all the people of the old guard see how stupid and ridiculous this whole war is and are trying their best to keep America out. And Trump and all of his cronies are very much so war, and are trying to push it in any way possible. So that was the updates. We have multiple people fired, or one person fired, another person asked to step down from their job. Trump said a lot of nothing during his press conference to the country, and we have 2 to 3 more weeks, depending on who you believe, for the world. Oh, also, Iran's president, he put out about a 4-page letter, no pun, um, to the American people, and he basically asked, "Is this war an American first type of war?" And I think he made some really salient points. So, anything else I have missed, or anything else you guys want to address with the war before we move on?
I told y'all they were going to start attacking tech companies
You
in the
did,
Middle East.
you did. I'm not gonna lie, Mook. Sometimes when you do be talking on here, I be like, boy, you be wilding. And then like throughout the week, your takes be coming to fruition. I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
I mean, hey, brother, um, it's just the ethics of war, baby. You attack infrastructure, your infrastructure will be attacked. So it's just like, yeah. Um, There's a reason why I feel like they were trying to move all those data centers to America all of a sudden, now that I think
Mm.
about it. Um, so specifically the East Coast. So hey, but and then the Saudi Arabian investment into the East Coast as well, with them purchasing the Wizards and a few other sports
Ten
teams along
percent, ten
the
percent, 10%.
Charles. They're still bought into the team, brother. That
It's a fact.
who's the what is that big sponsoring airline that's all over that motherfucker?
Emirates, right?
Etihad, I believe.
No, okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, but they have direct flights out of Dallas now. So, hey, it's not a coincidence, but let's get off this stuff because for once we don't have a run line. I'm excited to see what we talk about tonight. I know sports is one. So yeah, let's get into it, fellas. Charles is sick.
Facts.
Um,
No, but all right, but before we talk, we need to banter. So last week you made a lot of people mad. You made the pro. Oh, and when I mean people, I'm talking about Mook. You made the pro Jay Z people mad. You made the pro war people mad. Um, I think you even had some sports people mad. So I just want to give you a chance to say your piece. Do you have anything to say to any? Like I don't know if you have actually looked at the comments, but I've been looking at the YouTube comments, and boy, like they are upset.
Like back to back jumps, just pissed off at bro.
Just really mad at you. So I just wanted to know if you had anything that you wanted to say to just because I felt as though like when I watched it back, I kind of felt bad because that was a segue, and the way we segued was because we were just that's how we normally have done the pod. Like someone says something, something happens, and then we segue. But when I went back and I looked at it, I was just like, wow, like this was really I don't want to say like it kind of shaped the conversation for the rest of the show, but it kind of put a focus on what we would do. So, like I said, I just want you because I feel because I do a lot of the clips and stuff, and you don't really get a lot of say. So I just feel as though I want you to be able to get your piece off, and I don't want you, actually say what you have unfiltered, nobody da da.
I said what I said, bro. Like, I don't really care. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not here to appease anybody. Like, you asked me a question, I answered it. If you have a problem with my stances on things, cool. Um, I don't really have an issue with that. You know what I'm saying? And you're in the YouTube comments. You're not contacting me directly, so it's just like I'm living real life, baby. I'm not saying you aren't, but it's just like, you know what I'm saying? I put this out, you ask me a question. These are my beliefs, my opinions, you know what I'm saying? Like I've said I've done my studying and things like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like, yeah. If I was wrong in any way, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala open my doors and continue to guide me upon the righteous path of me. But other than that, it's just like I don't really care. Like, especially when it comes to the like, and I'm just speaking specifically right now for the Iranian clip because it's just like, all right, I know how people within the dunya feel. I mean, without in the dunya and within the ummah, like the worldly world and within the Muslim community, both sides. Well, depending on however you practice, whether it be Sunni, Shia, Sufi, um, whatever. It's just like, bro, like it's like I understand how all of us can have differing opinions on this, but at the same time, it's just like all sects are being attacked right now. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, y'all don't know the difference between Sunni and Shia or and Sufi and all of that. Like, to y'all, like, we just Muslims. Like, you know what I'm saying? And then, like, in the media, they just say Muslims. Like, they just specifically point us out. And, like, they haven't, and then, like, Sunni and Shia extremists are involved in the war right now. So I'm just like, yeah, bro, like, and however we feel against any of that at the time, just like the Ummah is under attack right now, bro. Like they're trying to call all of us terrorists, no matter where we are, no matter how we practice, no matter how we live our lives, all of that. Yeah, like I don't understand why that's so hard to grasp right now. Like you know what I'm saying? Because like if this shit is okay there, then it's okay here. Like I don't know why anybody sees that as an issue. Like the same thing with anti-Semitism, Islamophobia is the same shit. Like it's hatred is hatred. Like you know what I'm saying. I'm not cool with anti-Semitism either. Like towards Jews and all of that. My thing is Zionism. Let's get that clear too. But now that we got that out the way, the Iranian clip sat down. The Jay Z and the sports clip, I don't give a fuck about anybody that opinion about that. Real wholeheartedly. Because you know what I'm saying? Niggas talking about he motivated you. Nigga, you've never sold a brick. You've never been a rapper. You've never sold a brick, never been a rapper. You had no ambitions to be a rapper.
What if he?
There's
What if he?
no
What if he inspire them to be great at whatever they do, whatever hustle hard at whatever hustle that you choose.
that's cool, but if you're one of those niggas still holding on to your first get on thing, whatever, and that's selling bricks, which is bad to the community. Let's not get that. Talking about I've never put anybody down to get on. Okay, whatever you say, mister. And so it's just like, yeah, bro, like, no. And then he's just like, there's no way you're telling me that this man inspired you. He never gave a fuck about you, bro. He literally used eminent domain to make that beautiful stadium and then sold his one half of percent to do whatever he wanted to do with Rock Nation and then moved on from that and then sold y'all title as if this is, oh, this is just for the artists. It's black owned. Look at all the artists here. Look at that video. Look at that picture of that boardroom. You're the only black spot in that pit in that beautiful white piece of painting. And so it's just like, yeah, bro, if that's the man that y'all want to hold on to so tightly, so be it, my nigga. Like there's Stokely Carmichael and so many other beautiful black men that you can hold on to and actually gain knowledge from. But instead, you want to get mad at me because I said I don't find him inspiring when he speaks. I didn't even say anything about his music, but now I have to bring up his music because y'all brought it up in the conversation. So it's just like this. Okay, since the music inspired you so bad, how about you go back and listen to his old shit and see if it really still inspires you today as the big 30 plus year old that you are? Because it's just like my nigga.
I'm not.
Stop it.
I'm not gonna lie. I feel like you're talking to someone very specific here, but I'm not. I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna say anything.
No, because I saw a couple of those comments, and he wasn't the only one. Jay Z haters only online. You're a very old man as well. So it's just like, it's a couple of people where it's just like, my nigga, stop it. His music is amazing. I love it. He's one of the best lyricists ever,
No, move,
probably top five.
move.
But you are not going to sit here and tell me that that man's music is so great that it inspired you now continuously today. You graduated from college, he did not. He's a billionaire. You aren't. That's okay. That is life. But he also did a lot of other shit that you did not do morally and ethically that you can sleep at night. And he's up here defending himself multiple times over an interview where he felt like he misspoke, where he really didn't say anything that bad.
Okay. Listen, I was just gonna say I don't think you're doing any justice or any benefit in trying to get people to think you don't feel that you don't feel a way about Jay Z. But to your point about the music, did you know people are out here trying to say that we hate Jay Z? Like me of all, I hate Jay Z. Me,
I can see how they got it from me, but I don't know how they got that.
like once again, like you can't critique a nigga now. Like you can't say a nigga like you
No,
can't.
Charles, you give your opinion and you're hating. You know, we're podcasters, baby. This is what happened. I didn't know that once we start clipping our episodes, this was going to happen. But fuck it, we're here now. Because I feel like I've said way worse shit.
You
But
actually have. You said
happy, welcome to the new people. Continue.
you said way worse shit. But let's stay with hip hop. I think the biggest story right now is Gucci Man. Gucci
Oh,
Man,
wow. My turn.
Who Shiesty, and the who knows what's going on. So we have reports from the Department of Justice. This is why this is so interesting because normally when you get these kind of um, rumors and conversations, they're just
We're
that.
at war, and
They're
DOJ is talking to me.
they're rumors and conversations, they're internet fodder, but this is coming from the Department of Justice. Now, I know people might be like, hey, you guys spend a lot of time basically shitting on the Department of Justice and all that, so why do you care? Well, I think it is important that there are like chains, like there are people who, for better or for worse, are spending their lives dedicated to this. Now, to Mook's point, we're at war. Is there more important things? There's the whole Epstein thing. There's probably more important things that the Department of Justice could be doing. But since they are doing this, and since they have given us a lot of information, I'm curious a few different things. So let me just run through it, and you guys can take it from here. Uh, do you think that Gucci Man, if it is alleged that he did talk to the Department of Justice or the police in any sense, do you think that takes away from some of the allure of kind of his music as a gangster rapper, blase blase, all this good stuff? And secondly, how dumb is Pooh Shiesty and his conglomerate of friends for trying to pull this off the way they pulled this off? Decide how you guys want to take the conversation.
I'm just trying to figure out how you just like, damn, all the landmines, and you just expect me to walk outside. But in a sense, the way you worded the first part of that question, it was like, is Gucci a snitch? Um,
Hey, listen, I never said it's Gucci a snitch. I said that it is alleged that he spoke with
he spoke with.
he spoke with them. Now, as to what they said, what was I just saw a video of him saying that he will not he
Cooperate.
he won't cooperate. So
Okay.
once again, I don't like I said, I don't think Gucci Man is gonna get on a stand and go like this, but um I don't think you need that with this type of case. Like these guys, to my second question, these guys have, from all reports, done a lot of stupid things that basically gave them up. So that's why I asked those two questions in the conjunction I asked, just because.
Okay. That makes a lot more sense to me. Now, safer way to answer this. So, w- when you're involved in criminal activity, criminals do criminal things. So it's just like, yeah. I honestly, like I said in the group chat, I feel like this is a long stemming issue from when like Big Scar get being killed or dying. You know what I'm saying? That was Pooh Shiesty's cousin, also a label mate of his under 1017 conglomerate. So it's just like I felt like there was a lot of things that happened with a lot of other people with Memphis, other Memphis rappers that I feel like Gucci was trying to sign to that Pooh Shiesty didn't like, and then some probably didn't get some money while he was locked up. And, it's probably just a lot of stuff that he had a lot of issues with. But I like the way Keith worded it best. Pooh Shiesty saw NWA, and then a light bulb went off.
Hold on, what?
You know how Ice Cube went into the jump with the baseball bat,
Oh
and
yeah.
yeah, but instead he went in with switches, and and instead of like just getting his contract signed, he took stuff off of people. So it's just like, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't do that if I just came home 7 weeks ago, but
I love his first day out too. His first day out is hard, bro.
hey, bro, that LeBron bar is gonna live forever,
Yeah,
especially now.
yeah, because he got caught with his pops, correct?
Exactly.
Yeah. Your
Yeah,
daddy
cause
is
him,
killer. You
they
not.
looking like yeah, but they looking like Ken Griffey Senior and Junior over
Oh, Maddie, you got anything for the Pooh Shiesty?
Blinders.
Um, nah, I mean, this would fall into the category of outside of the blinders, so it's fine. But nah, this I feel like this
You
came
not
to
black?
me. Yeah, no, I'm saying like this isn't blinder stuff for me. But I feel like whatever the link came around, I'm just like, bro, what is happening? I didn't even click this shit. So I don't know what happened, I mean, I didn't even know this nigga. For one, these aren't the rappers that I be fucking with. So I mean, it's just like really, I don't give two shits.
Oh,
But I didn't know this nigga just came home I couldn't have told you that the nigga was on the label or trying to get signed to the Gucci. But it's just like, what are we doing? And why are we doing this in one of my favorite cities? Like, what's going on in
In
Dallas?
Dallas.
Yeah, yeah, what are we doing, bro? Like, I
Dallas is
don't.
a. I feel as though a lot of shit happens in Dallas.
It does.
Didn't Mo
It
three get killed in Dallas?
He's from there though, but yeah.
shit to
Man,
be
niggas
happening
been
in
killing
Dallas, but
motherfuckers.
it's just like, why are we
Neither
kidnapping
one of
niggas?
these niggas are from
Exactly. So what are we doing? I I, I was just more so confused at what I was reading. Cause why are we Gucci Man getting kidnapped? You know what I
I
mean?
just find it hilarious that
there.
like
Gucci is like 6'5"
He
too, so
seems like an
him
untouchable cat
getting
to me.
kid,
no one's untouchable.
I
It
mean,
yeah,
just
more so like why is he getting kidnapped of all niggas?
well because he owns his contract. Like I saw someone say, oh, couldn't Gucci just have given him his contract back, or just let him out of his contract? And all I could think about was, how do you guys think business works? Like
right.
Gucci Man has probably invested money into this man, has probably done things for this man from a business standpoint, and he's trying to recuperate. So I get what Pooh Shiesty would want as an artist because I'm sure he wants to be free to do what he wants and all that good stuff. But Gucci Man, like you signed like that's the whole thing. Like you signed a contract. Now you there are ways in which you could get out of it. Like Shiesty, I'm more than positive he could have paid himself out of. People have done that many a times. They've paid to get out of contracts. They fulfilled their. There's plenty of things you could do, which didn't mean putting a gun to a nigga's head and unscrewing his earrings. Like we didn't have to do all of that per se, but I hope I hope he enjoys his time because he's going back to the feds, buddy.
So he only robbed the nigga, or he literally kidnapped the nigga?
Well, I'm sure they're gonna charge you with kidnapping because once you don't allow someone to leave, that's kidnapping. Like if you
Oh,
once you block someone, like if you came to my house and
hmm.
you were like, all right, I'm leaving, and I was like, nah, I locked the doors, I kidnapped you. Like
Facts. Even
just
if somebody came in your house and held you against your will, they're kidnapping you.
All right. Cause I'm thinking niggas kidnapped this nigga and took him fucking in a car,
nah, that was in the studio apparently,
blindfolds.
and
Yeah,
they said Big 3-0 blocked the door. They said your ass ain't going nowhere.
he was an ex-football player, so that's also big nigga. Like I'm just thinking about like if Gucci 6'5", man, and like Big 3L, he probably like my height, but he like 200. So it's just like, shorty, like these are big people.
Yeah.
Like this ain't no bullshit. Like this is nuts.
Now I'm very
Kidnapping is an insane charge though. Like
What
that
are
is
we
so
doing, bro? What
I
the
mean,
fuck
once
are
again,
we?
that's one thing I will say about in America. Like, you gotta have to like read into what the actual
yeah.
charges are because a nigga said he kidnapped him to Mag's point. I'm thinking you threw this nigga in the back of the car and drove across the town when you just wouldn't let him out the studio, which is still very wild. Like, don't get it
No,
twisted.
we not in Lagos, my nigga. When you want to get kidnapped for real, nigga, go outside of
That
America.
is that is true. That if you really are trying to get kidnapped, go do some wild shit like that. Um, but yeah, that's the Gucci Pooh Shiesty. Anybody else? Any do we did we miss anything? Do we have any other takes we need to get off in regards to that?
No, not at all.
Mook said he had to be very careful because keep his ears to the streets. So I feel that. Feel
It's I don't do I'm just trying to appease the people, man. I don't want nobody in the comments going crazy, especially with that situation.
that.
Like those those fans are a little different. So it's just like these
Hey,
ain't
Z fans, I'll take you guys. He said
yeah,
Pooh Shiesty and them. Y'all got it. You sound like
fuck
me with the
it.
Moroccan fans.
Yeah, they definitely got that, champ. I want no problem with the YNs.
I respect that. Very respectable. Um, Anything else in the world of entertainment and sports that we need to get? I mean, in entertainment and music that we need to get into that we haven't touched on or that we've missed.
No.
Actually, I had a random thought. This isn't entertainment or anything, but Mook, you asked me earlier, was I eating Chipotle? And it made me think. Not all Chipotle's are built the same. Like that's a fair assessment, correct?
Yeah.
Like there's very specific Chipotle's you should go to. And I feel it's that way for every fast food. Like I have very specific Popeyes that I go to. Like if I'm in a new state, yeah, I'll go to wherever. But like here at home, like I know my Popeyes. Like I have
I
very
can't tell
specific
you the last time I had Popeye.
because you're not living right. But that's not the point. The point is that there are very specific Popeyes. There's very specific pizza. Like this, like I don't just go to like Litos. Like I got a Litos that I'm like, all right, this is my Litos. You know, very, very, very specific. And I was just curious, is that like an actual thing, or is that something that I just conjured up in my mind?
No, you're 100% right. Like these are franchises, so of course they're not all cared for the same.
Yeah, yeah. I see. That's just a very straight, you know, very simple. But you would think at on a general basis, like a McDonald's fry is a McDonald's fry. Like
No, no,
no, okay,
no,
just no, just no, no.
because I haven't had McDonald's in a minute either. But there is one specific McDonald's I will never go to because their fries are always salty. I don't know how, but they're always soggy. And I'm just like, I don't like this. Perfectly salted, but for some reason they just are just soggy. And I'm like, where's the crisp? Where's the snap in this motherfucker? And it ain't got none.
Listen, see, I listen. My favorite Popeyes is the joint on 202, and across from the
Oh, Kenland.
across from the
Yeah,
Kentland Fire Station. Like
yeah,
that's my Popeyes. Like me and that Popeyes were very much so locked in. Like I
yeah.
love that Popeyes.
That's
Now,
that's a staple right there. Okay,
will I go
Charlie.
to
See,
other?
you still a man of the people, huh?
I try. You know, my father used to work at. It used to be a seven. It's a 7-Eleven now, but at one point it used to be a mini mart in Dodge Park,
Yeah,
at the bottom where the Checkers is.
yeah.
My father used to work at that 7-Eleven, and then they used to have a nightclub across the street by where the post office is in
I'm
Dodge
very
Park.
aware. I'm
And
very aware.
my father used to talk about how his 7-Eleven used to get robbed a lot during that era when they had that nightclub over there in Dodge Park. People don't even refer to it as Dodge Park anymore. That's how I know it's just like we're living in different
Is
times.
the 25 8 store still right there?
That's exactly what that's. No, it's a 7-Eleven now.
Wow,
Yeah, so it was a 7-Eleven to a 25/8. Now it's back to a 7-Eleven.
wow.
Look how life goes full circle. But okay, so you're saying that there's a clear difference. Like the snapping of the fries is very clear to you.
Hold on, Charles. I'm hurt right now. That just crushed me. So the 25 8 store gone?
Yeah, that's what been going for a while, Luke. I feel as though like it's going for quite some time. I used to just drive down 202 a lot. Like for a long time, Lloyd Foster used to hate driving on the Beltway, so we used to only drive on those back roads. So 190,
This hurt like Landover Mall a little bit.
no, ooh, Landover Mall. It actually had a longer run than people think. Like that Sears was there for a very long time.
But I mean, I'm talking about the mall, like the downstairs with a playpen
Oh,
in the
that's where
middle.
thing going, my nigga. Come on.
Yeah, I'm here, Charles. I was
That's the
about to
only reason
get
why I
mad.
said the mall had a longer run because I
Yeah.
remember Sears being there for just a brick. Like Sears was just there.
That joint was one of the most money making Sears too.
I feel it. Listen, like I'm sure if like all Sears are gone now, but I'm sure if they still, I'm sure there's a few Sears, but I'm sure if if they were still doing it, they're going to be there because niggas are still.
Annapolis Mall probably still. Annapolis Mall still got their Sears.
But listen again, I don't know but I haven't like seen a Sears in like a decade.
I
Like
remember the last time I said Sears, my nigga.
that's my point. Only time I see Sears is on TV shows about history. That's
Yeah,
the only time I see Sears. Sears and Kmart. Those are some like old
relics.
relics. That perfect word, relics. That's another thing. Now that you got me on this thing, what is the most you had to have been there type of restaurant, store, anything that we don't got no more? Like Chuck E. Cheese is around. Like my daughter knows Chuck E. Cheese. I knew Chuck E. Cheese. It's something that's been around. But my daughter never knew Jeepers. And like Jeepers was that hot shit. Like Jeepers was fire. I'm trying to think. Are there like Old Country Buffet? Like there's no more Old Country buffets, are there?
Yeah, but you gotta be out the way.
Shit, they used to have one at Forestville Mall.
Yeah, Charles, but think about how long ago that was.
Shit, I was in high school, so damn, that was like 14 years ago. God damn.
Yeah, nigga, what the fuck? Yeah, that was well over a decade ago.
I was like, yeah, I was in high school when they had that shit.
Yeah,
It was like 15 years ago, nigga.
yeah.
Wow. Well, to the point is that like I think of Jeepers. Is there one that just really comes to mind for you?
Um, before Jaspers BET jump.
DC Soundstage.
Yeah,
It's not a bad one. It's not a bad one. It's not a bad one.
uh,
It's actually a really good one. Now I think about it. It's a good
BT Soundstage. What else? Um, the Tunnel.
one.
T
Ooh, remember
T.O.
when the tunnel went to DC Star and then and then I don't know what it went after that. Cause
Yeah,
shout out to Curtis Lampkin. He took me to a New Year's Day party in '08. I think that was like one of the last years the tunnel was still
yeah.
around.
I think that was the last
So we went to so he took me to that New Year's Day 20 bands whatever 20 bands $20 joint. So he took me
joint.
there. That was my only time at the tunnel. And then when it became DC Star, like literally like a year or two later, I went to my first 18 and over go at DC
That
Star.
and that lasted about 8 months.
Yeah, shout out D Cage because it was me, him, it was me, D Cage, and Curtis. I was 18 and over. I was in that. I remember TCB. I remember that was a good night. I was in that bitch. Yeah,
The Tunnel.
that whole backside of what's that? It's Montana or what? Once you coming down New York and then you make that right onto Montana where Bliss was. What's that street?
Is that Kenilworth?
No. You coming down New York Ave. You pass Aqua. You make a right, and then you're going towards where what's the strip club?
Stadium.
Stadium. That road. What is that road? That's where all them clubs are. That's where Tunnel. That's where Star. They were all. That's where Bliss. You make that.
Yeah.
I don't know because all I know is New York, Montana. You make a right, and then I don't actually know the street. Like I
That's
can't.
not Montana?
It might be, but I know all I know is that around the circle is Montana.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm not a city slicker like you guys. I'm just.
I mean, that's going up towards Kennedy Street and Rhode
Yes.
Island and all that.
Yes. No. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm talking about. That road to
Yeah.
Rhode Island, but Rhode Island is
I'm
way
just,
too far.
I'm just snitching on myself right
Rhode Island is way too far. That's what I'm saying. The street I'm talking about on Bliss, I just don't know that road name. I just can't think of it off the top of my head. But shout out to DC Star. Shout out. Honestly, that's what DC needs that section of the city back, man. Like DC can't just be actual downtown, like because then everything just gets very clogged up. Like they need to have that part of the city where like actual stuff is happening. Like there's clubs, there's events, but it's not like just all right off of that like um, that Connecticut Pennsylvania Ave kind of like weird corridor. Oh, that Connecticut Pennsylvania 14th Street because I feel like those all fake
now.
do a
And
connect.
H.
H and 14th. So H and 14th gets you to Connecticut and Massachusetts,
Facts.
and then Connecticut and Massachusetts will get you down to Pennsylvania. So you see, like honestly, I used to do that walk. Like if I was ever bored, start at the White House.
I'm about to say, especially coming from work, just
Yeah,
get smacked down.
start at the White House, walk down Connecticut, go maybe past DuPont, get halfway through DuPont, then go towards 14th. I mean, and then go towards you. Like good, just like, especially in the
And
summer.
get blitzed on my way to the train station.
Right, especially in the summer, like after 3 or 4, you could do that for like 2, 3 hours, and you can just see that hole, and then you could be home by like 8 o'clock. Had you a good day in DC. Then
Right.
seen 3, 4 neighborhoods, went to a few different bars. Yeah, nah, DC is actually a really great walking city. So, I would encourage more people to, because speaking of this summer, shit gonna look kind of short. So I would encourage your ass to hop on the metro and start walking, baby.
Facts.
Get on
Not
that,
getting political, but
get on that metro. I mean, that's the thing. That's the beauty of politics. That like, even when
it
you're not,
ties into everything.
even when you're not trying to be, it just happens. So like the idea of a walkable city, it's all about politics. Like it's an infrastructure thing, and people like get upset or something, but it's like it's the truth. If your city had a better infrastructure, then you would probably like walking. You would probably find things that are right near you, right by you. But your city don't have that. All you gotta do is drive. So like you don't understand the need for a corner store or
Facts.
or your doctor to be very close to you because you like, oh, I drive everywhere. That's not everybody's reality. We ready to move to the NBA?
I would love to.
You
I
would
just want to
love.
say there are only 5 Sears stores left in existence.
I told you. And people.
Where?
Can we do a field trip?
Orlando randomly, so I'm down. Coral Gables, El Paso,
Wow. So two in Florida,
Concord,
one in Texas.
and California.
Hmm.
Actually, Massachusetts as well. So Mass, Cali, Texas, and Florida. That's it.
Yeah, we gotta go to a Sears.
So the tax havens.
Yeah.
California is a tax haven.
No, but you can get some shit off if you own property in a different state,
Okay.
such as Nevada.
Yeah,
Same thing with
I knew for a fact Florida is. That's why I was like, oh, yeah, yeah.
same thing with Massachusetts, but that might be like a headquarters type flagship store type thing because I feel like that started up there.
Where, where's Sears start? I mean, since we're here with the Sears bag.
1 second. Also, while I look this up, and to the point of a food place that's gone, right? I don't think I got one that's gone, but I'm thinking back when Red Lobster was actually good. Like when that shit was good.
Red Lobster off of 450.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the one.
I'm trying to tell you, that was the one. Nah, I listen. I don't really eat Red Lobster, but
And the Red Lobster over here by my joint or Branch Avenue, that was a fake sneaky one for a little second.
I feel as though Branch Avenue as a whole used to be like a nice little place where people used to. I feel like they don't do that no more. I feel as though that
Oh
side of
no, brother,
PG.
it's back.
Oh, it's back. I feel like that side of PG is very interesting because I feel like the harbor.
Let's pull up to the Apollo one day. I'll show you something.
Yeah, I'll come out there, but like I said, I feel as though that side of PG. I feel as though the harbor has kind of taken over. Like the harbor has become kind of the lifeline for Southern PG. So like things like people like how you say people would go towards like Branch Avenue and different parts of Southern Avenue used to be a big metro stop. Like people would just go to Southern Ave and then from there go up and down that PG DC border, different stores and stuff. I feel as
That's
though
straight coming back to where what they built. But yeah, like you saying, Allentown Road, where mom had Foley mom, shout out to mom Melissa, had her birthday John there.
yeah,
That's
I
like
feel as though
that's like a little go-go spot.
they used to have lounges and restaurants that people I vividly used to know talk about on that side of PG. And like I said, I just feel like the harbor has made it so people don't really go on that side like that anymore. Or
Cause
there's not like businesses in that same sense like there was maybe like 20 years ago. If that maybe I'm just like I was a little kid. I wasn't going outside, so and now I am. But that's definitely something that I definitely like took a fake notice to.
all right, 10 for a Kufi hat. When these Europeans come over here and start selling the black man luxury, my nigga, they took away all of that. You gotta open your third eye, brother.
Oh,
Hey
yeah,
You gotta do the knowledge, dog. You ain't do today's mathematics.
honestly, I did not do the mathematics, so you are
yo.
right. You are definitely right about that.
But
Uh,
nah, honestly, but not like on the serious. No, I honestly do feel like the whole pursuit of luxury and all this other shit, and then like trying to promote or market to a certain crowd, really like killed all of that shit though. Because like if you think about it, like people used to go to that shit. They didn't care about what they wore. They didn't care about sparklers, bottle service, none of that. They go to the bar, get their little $4 5 blue motorcycle. They didn't give a fuck what was in it and keep it moving, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? But now it's just like that shit is all about like what you drinking. Like, oh, you ain't drinking Repo, or what Repo you drinking? Like, you know what I'm saying? All that gay ass shit. And it's just like, bro, you're drinking poison.
you know what? That's not a bad. not a bad comeback. That's not a bad way to wrap it up. Because I definitely think there is something to the idea of local and like mom and pop's businesses not being able to function in this kind of super, bottles, tables. Everything needs to be like excessive. So everything turns excessive. So like Sobeys is a perfect example to me. Very chill lounge that it should have just been a nice restaurant that people could go to for I feel like a very long time, local. But it's kind of hard to do that when you need to compete with whoever else is doing whatever lounge, hookah,
So,
all that other stuff. So now your prices have to go a lot of shit like that. And then
now look at them. They had hookah and burn they shit down.
did it get burned out? I just thought they sold that joint.
I know they had
They
a
burned.
fire. I don't know.
Yeah, it had a fire a couple months ago. Now it's
Wow.
gone.
Wow. I didn't even realize that. That's kind of crazy. But
Mm,
yeah,
I'm
man.
not laughing at that, but the way Omatic said that just crushed me.
pain. I like their food. If you had to guess what year, if you had to guess what year Sears came to fruition, what would you say?
Ooh, 1950.
19, no, 18,
Oh, you're right. Damn, that's a good call, Luke.
1893.
Chuck.
Damn. See, I was gonna go 50s, but Mook just really fucked the game up. I'm gonna go 1889.
1886, and they started in Minnesota. Random as hell. So
Target started in Minnesota too.
that's crazy. Men.
You know what's so funny? One of my favorite shows. I don't really watch a lot of TV, but one of my favorite shows actually is coming back. It's a show on the History Channel called "Food That Built America."
Oh yeah, I'll be watching that joke.
Oh, gr- one of my favorite shows. I think
I'm about
like
to say, they have Endless Jones to, I think they're on food now because they had tycoons that built America,
yeah,
companies
yeah,
that built
yeah, yeah.
America. Okay, all right.
They've had apparently this series has been going on like you said since like 2012. So like the original was a was a 3 hour or 4 hour docu series that they had split up, and then because I guess that went well,
Yeah,
so they've done like you said they've done tycoons, they've done events. I've seen like they have a whole bunch. They did a whole joint on Walt Disney. Walt Disney had his own 6 part joint that was really dope. Um, but yeah, I actually I'm very I like that because I feel as though it ties in a lot of history about America that I think people know, but they don't really know that they know. So like pizza's definitely American, like how we know it, but like how we got there. They did a really good joint on Pizza Hut and Domino's. I think cats should watch that. Chicken wings, how football and Buffalo Bills, how they helped spur on the chicken wings craze. They did one on Popeyes, KFC. Yeah, it's a lot of that's like I said. That's I don't really like a lot of TV because yeah, but that's definitely like my favorite show, and it's coming back. I think April 11th. I want to say April
sound
11th
about right.
or 12th. That is when it's coming back. So okay, we now I know that being on Maddox's bag. Yeah, good
But
to know.
you know that channel, that 620 area, that 630 channel on fucking Verizon. You know that's where I'm at.
I
Aerial
like
America
I like
every
the
Saturday, man.
I tell you American Heroes channel, bro. That's the channel, bro.
625, buddy. I know the bag.
All the war stuff, like they be having like these top 10 countdowns, like top
Poor
10
baby
military
Charlie.
military innovations. Them should be very very interesting. Honestly, that's a big issue that like niggas be having propaganda and they don't even realize it. Like you just watching like the top 10 da da da, and them niggas getting spanked in Iran. It's like, come on, bro. This shit is like, what's going on here, man? What's
Hey,
going?
brother, that's what. Hey, Dwight Eisenhower tried to warn us in his speech about the military-industrial complex.
Cats
Like
be trying to warn us. Cats be trying to
he
warn
he
us.
lit, he was a piece of shit, but he spoke fact. He spoke truth to power in that speech.
Let's move to sports now. I think the biggest sports story is Buddy Jaden Ivy.
God bless him.
What do you mean? God bless him. That's part of the issue here. Like
God is part of the issue.
well, yes, because he's using the idea of God as a cover up for his bigotry. This is my biggest issue with the super religious cats.
Okay, Charles, you spitting, Charles. I'm fucking with this. Go ahead, baby. Cook.
But this is
I
my
put it. ISO, ISO, clear out.
this is my issue with the super religious cats. Religion is something that you do. It's something that is for you. It is not for others. It is your relationship with whatever God you believe in. You don't get to impart that on the rest of us. So if Jaden Ivey believes that homosexuality is whatever, that's fine. Like that in itself is not the issue. He could believe whatever he wants to believe. The issue is him now trying to make that belief our belief. No, you don't get to do that. You could believe that. You could listen. If he was doing all this shit on his Instagram, he was liking posts. I'd be defending him. I'd be like, bro, let man cook. You don't get to be on camera being like, y'all going to hell. Like Steph Curry. Like, come on, bro. That's not how any of this works. You don't get to do like that's not how this works because of your religion or your faith or whatever. No, no, no. You work for somebody. If he worked for himself, God bless him. But you work for the Chicago Bulls, and the Chicago Bulls are like, fuck that, bro. You're wilding. Get out of here. I respect it to the max because first of all, you're not that good. Let's keep shit all the way 100.
And
You're
you're
not
hurt.
you're not that good. So if you're not that good and you're bugging, what benefit does that do for us as a team? And you're making the vibes weird. Like once again, as someone who's a Christian and da da da, I hate a super God, Jesus. Like please relax. Like we're all sinners. Trust me. We're all sinners and we're all gonna sin again. Like I don't need you over my back telling me about how I fornicated before marriage. Like please, leave me alone. Get out of my face. So
That shit had to be trash, bro.
I just
For
thought
you to
that
come out and be like, hey, I did this sin and I ain't mean it. You know how bad that had to be, bro? Because
yeah,
it's like, granted, you know what I'm saying? I repented for some shit. But it's just like, hey, bro, like, for you to just come out there and air that one out specifically, hey,
I
Slim,
mean,
that shit was
you seen
garbage.
Kaylee, bro?
Who was that?
His wife, bro. I mean,
I
I
heard he's
ain't,
married to a.
hey,
I just heard he's married to a white woman. That's all I
yeah,
heard.
Kaylee, bro. What you mean, man?
oh, so all right, see that boy over there eating non-seasoned food. He over
That's
there,
why.
Brian.
That's
Hey,
why he
all
said
right.
it.
So
That's
he
why
get
he
out. All
said.
right, this is him crying for help. He need to get out of there, Charles.
Y'all are crazy. I wish y'all to know that y'all are crazy.
That's
I
why
This
was
he
is
like,
not
said it,
nah.
bro.
This is what he
Kaylee,
said.
bro.
Hey, bro, that's what he doing, bro. Cause he in the house of that conservative white woman, and he going to them conservative churches, and he listening to them conservative pastors. And we see what P. Hegseth. I hate the fact we keep coming to politics, but P. Hegseth trying to get every motherfucking military official in that joint an ordained minister somehow. So it's just
yeah,
like, bro, like, hey, Slim, like, I feel sorry for bro. Like, he don't know what's better for him. Actually, no, I don't, Charles. You right, you right. I don't feel sorry for him,
okay,
but
okay.
it's just,
Really?
uh, I don't feel any type of way for that young man. Actually, now
Yeah,
that what I just said is settled. Okay, stuff for the law. You right, but it's
but
just like. But
my
bro, like Slim, he out there with the unseasoned poontang, bro.
so
Like,
what? This be my bigger issues. Casby wanting to be once again. If you want to be a bigot, be a bigot. Stand on your bigotry. Stop trying to use the idea that God. Once again, God
yeah,
says that
God don't cover the
God
bigotry, bro.
says God says that when women come into the church, they should cover their hair. That's in the Bible. I'm sure that Jaden Ivey is not following all of the wording of the gospel to a T. So don't come and try to hit me with the oh God said. Listen, if you don't fuck with cats being gay, that's fine. Just say that. Stop trying to make this a oh God said it because now niggas like me who's just trying to fuck with God in peace and keep his shit moving. Now we got to answer for your bigotry, and I don't want to answer for your bigotry. I don't want to answer why
No, 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 no. Answer for it. I be
you.
having to do it sometime.
That's I knew you were gonna bring that up, and I actually feel your point because I saw an Iranian woman of the diaspora say a lot of people in Iran might not understand some of the issues that Iranian people in the diaspora get because of 9/11. She was like, when 9/11 happened, there was no distinction between Iraq, Afghanistan. They were all Muslims. They were just
Facts.
all so because of that, they were all in solidarity with each other. So I get it in the same sense. Like if you are part of a group, we're all in solidarity with each other. So for me, if I'm gonna say that I'm a Christian person, I'm gonna have to be like Jaden Ivey, chill the fuck out. Like you don't get to be like out here screaming, "Oh, I'm doing this in the name of Christianity," and then I'm gonna be like, "I'm a Christian," because then you're doing it in the name of me, and I'm telling you, no, no. Don't do it for me. Don't do it for me. No, not for me. So I just think that you need to be very, very clear about these things because you should be clear. Like, you people would ask a Muslim person to be very clear. Most people would be like, "Are you going to denounce that this person has said this about Islam?" Like, that would be a conversation piece. And I think it was Chandler Parsons who came out and was like, "Everybody calm down. Like, nobody is trying to like persecute Christians in the NBA. Like, that's not what's going on. Jaden Ivey was just a dumbass." And he was exactly what that's what he said, and I really appreciated that because there needs to be some sort of
Ain't he like a big Christian guy too, right?
soup. Like, bro, most of the bro, when anytime you watch one of these games, when these guys finish, it's thank God, it's Jesus. I want to give my prayer. I want to first recognize Jesus. He gave me all the strength, bro. There is no way, if you're being honest with yourself, that you could say that we are like an anti like no in sports they love Jesus. Tim Tebow, AC Green. I can go through
Hey,
every
but Jesus was the reason that boy got drafted.
I can go through every major American sport and find you not just like a Christian connection, but like a Christian promotion. So please let's not do the whole like niggas can't be Christian. You just can't be a bigot. That's it. You just can't be a bigot. Um, so last week, Omatic was very, very. He felt very, very strongly about my Cavs take. Mook too, but not as strongly as Omatic. Omatic was very. I was looking back at Omatic's face when he was saying it. He was, what do you mean? He was so angry that I would say that. And as I look up at the standings, the Cavs are a game and a half back with 6 games left. Looks pretty close. Looks pretty close to me. So I'll allow Matic to take the floor here. Do you want to maybe be a little less indignant with your claim, or are you still holding on to such things?
Nice word. Nice word. I'll start by saying I'm gonna stand where I am.
Okay.
I mean, if these two teams, 6 games left, a game and a half. I don't know who the Knicks are playing,
And the Cavs have a game in hand. So if the Cavs win, it's back to a game.
so it's just like at the end of the day, right? Last week, you know, the stuff was in my favor, standings and all that. At the end of the day, I've been saying this in another several chats actually. I really want Cleveland to get the 3 seed for selfish reasons for
The Knicks have
Pistons.
clinched the third spot.
That's what it is. It's
No, they just
clinch.
get the playoff spot.
Yeah.
About to
Oh,
say.
okay.
Yeah, we're specifically, I guess, talking about this 3 and 4 spot
Mhm.
here.
Okay.
Selfishly for me, I need the Knicks to get the 4th seed. Okay, so I want Knicks Pistons second round. If my guy punctured lung is back, we want that smoke in the second round. We as in Cade, like we saw what happened last year. That's what I want. So I mean, hey, I would love to be wrong here, but I still think Knicks are gonna get this 3rd seed. I literally don't know who they play left in these 6 games. But I mean,
They
we
play
all know that.
OKC coming up,
Okay, so that's one game. I
and then they
mean,
play a taking team as well.
so I mean, there's, I mean, just got to see who the last 6 are, and just kind of go from there. So I mean, again, I would love to be wrong here. I want Pistons Knicks second round, but it is what it is. I got
You want,
the
you say you want Pistons Knicks
second
second round.
round, and that only happens if these two flop 3 and 4.
So before we get into, because I said last week we did our three. Quick recap. I did
Chicago, Hawks, Boston, Toronto, Charlotte.
For
who the
who?
Knicks.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm sorry. So
Like
they don't play.
that's that
So they don't play
that's
OKC.
That's the 3 seed right there. I mean, I don't think you're resting cats. You know, that sounds
I
like
can see
that sounds
them
like three to
going.
me.
They can lose the. They can beat Chicago, but I can see them going 0-3 after that. Maybe 0-4.
Nah.
Uh, I don't know. They've been herky jerky, so I wouldn't put anything past them. Like they could do anything, but they could also lose anything. Like I wouldn't be surprised if they lost.
Didn't they just get whooped by somebody the other night?
Yes.
The Rockets just spanked them
It was,
tremendously.
I think it was like 50 at one point or some shit.
Uh,
Yeah,
They
I'm
they
not
only
saying. I
gave
know
him
it was
like
like
one something. Shit was wild.
yeah, listen. For me, the
it was
Knicks.
like they look so bad. Sangoon and Katie liked each other.
I told y'all. For me, I don't believe in the Knicks. Haven't, won't. Nothing that they could do that make me believe in them. My whole thing is that I was gonna ask us to make predictions, like because I said last week I was like, we da da da. But as I keep looking at these standings, seeding is all that is going to matter. Like I looked up today, and the Sixers were in the sixth, and they're in the sixth spot, and I said to myself, "Damn, I could talk myself into the Sixers again." Remember, I think it was a month, maybe 6 weeks ago. I was like,
Charles, Charles, stop,
I was like
stop,
the Sixers.
stop,
I
stop
said
this shit, man. Stop,
I
stop this
kept
shit.
listen. I'm trying to tell y'all. As I look at the Eastern Conference and I go team by team by team, the only team that
Piss
has
me off.
limited to no flaws is the Celtics. They have the superstar. They got enough scoring from another player. They have a decent bench. They have experience. The Celtics have everything. The team that I believe in the most is the Pistons, but they don't even have their best player right now. So everything I believe in the Pistons is an idea. It's an idea from about 6 weeks ago. I still believe in it, but it's not concrete. It's truly an idea. And then it's everybody else. I could tell you why the Cavs are winning, but I could tell you why they could lose. I could tell you why the Knicks could win. I could tell you why the Knicks could lose, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Shit, I was looking at the Atlanta Hawks, and I was like, if shit matches up right, I could give you an Atlanta Hawks Eastern Conference Finals situation. Like I could tell you why that happens, and everything. Da, da, da.
Niggas shrugged me off last week.
No, and for that you are right. I would do a victory lap if I was you. But like I said, the
We've
seed
only won 3 games since then. It's okay. What we on? We at 13, 14
17-2 in your
game
last
win streak.
19.
No, I'm
You
hip.
also,
But I'm saying since I said that we've won 3 more
oh
games.
yeah,
So it's just like yeah, we like on like a 14, 15 game win streak. Not crazy.
yeah. So for me, it's just about seeding because where do the Hawks, Sixers, and Knicks all land? Hawks, Sixers, Knicks, and Cavs. Where do they land? That 3 through 6, I think, is very important because if you can avoid Boston, I think you have a great chance to pencil yourself in for Eastern Conference Finals. I don't know many times where you would like to face the number one seed in a conference, but like I said, I haven't seen Cade play in literally weeks now.
And he
I
was
don't.
supposed to get reevaluated today or tomorrow.
I just don't know what to believe with that.
Pistons been playing still some good damn
Listen,
ball though, man.
and what I
So
tell you last week, that's
What
why
score right now?
we're gonna keep.
they're up one. You know, I mean, we
Listen,
just played OKC. It was it was a game.
it was
You
a
know what I'm
it was a
saying? We
game.
weren't expecting that at all. So I
They,
mean,
They
they've
went to OT too,
literally
right?
exactly. They haven't
they
fell
haven't
off at all.
they
Seven and
haven't
three their
fallen.
last 10. So it's just like let him come
Jenkins
back.
has shown to be really good. Levert has come off the bench and played.
That young man's about to get paid.
Hey man,
They've done a lot of good things, but
I was talking about what's his name, Jenkins, the backup point
yeah,
guard. He
they've
about to
done a
get
lot of
paid.
they've done a lot of good things. But that's the thing. Doing that in the NBA regular season in the dog days is great. I respect it. I don't know if I can believe that come playoff time. Like there's a different animal and beast to this. And now as I look through the Eastern Conference, the only team for my money that fits the bill is Boston. Every other team has not glaring but pretty clear faults. And I think that is going to I think in particular for the Eastern Conference, we're going to need seeding to really decide who's going where and who's doing what. Um, Moving on to the MVP race, do niggas like the fact that Wemby is politicking for the award?
No, because it gives his nerd analysts as analytical as fans more fuel to be like, oh, look at these numbers. And it's just like, I mean, bro, you don't need to show me numbers. My eyes see what this young man is
Been trying to
doing.
tell these cats this for years. Listen,
But at the same time, you're not going to tell me what Jalen Brown has done all year isn't a greater claim to why he should be the MVP. Like, they haven't had their best player, so some would say. They haven't dropped out underneath the third seed all year. He's one of the best two-way players in the league every night, to me at least. So it's just like he's developed his game. They say he couldn't go left. He has some type of a bag now. Like he's actually uplifted his team. Like yeah, bro. Like you said, like the even though Boston is one of the most complete teams, like he's a very, very, very big pivotal piece of that. Like he's definitely very valuable to that team.
no, it's I don't know, man. I'm mad at you.
I didn't even see what Wemby said. Right, like I just saw. I mean, I was
Well,
getting the tidbits. Like I guess he was just talking about what his defensive shit and all that. Like I didn't
I
even.
took that shit as a shot at what's the name for it. I didn't even take it as an MVP campaign.
So what did he
well, here's
say?
my
What was
issue
he?
with
What was he getting off? Like I
well
play
that the
play
game is
defense.
played. Defense is 50% of the game. He plays both sides. Da da da. My, I don't. I agree with Mook. I think it was more so a little bit shade. Um, but I think for me, Wemby is in this weird. He's in the everybody loves me phase that NBA players, a lot of times NBA players get, especially when they're really good and young. LeBron had this in Cleveland before he left and after the first title run when they went to the championship versus the Spurs where LeBron could do no wrong. Like LeBron was the greatest thing since sliced bread. Everything he did was just amazing. And he was the best player in the league even if he wasn't. He had that run. And then once you lose enough, then they'll turn on you. Wemby is in that stage, and I think he just knows how to work it better. Like LeBron was never politicking in this way because that's just not what people. I think that was frowned upon. Wemby is working the press. He's working all of the buttons to get people to be like, oh, well maybe he should be MVP. Should he be in the running? For sure. Like Wemby's team won how many games last year? 30 something.
Yeah, I think so.
Now they
And
won.
he was hurt for most of the season.
He was hurt, and when he got hurt last year, the team fell off completely. Now they're about to win 50 plus games, challenge for the number one seed. I think that's most valuable player ish.
For
Um,
sure.
but there's still a person who has a better record than him. There are multiple people who have just better numbers than him offensively, and once again, net rating and shit like that. I let the nerds deal with that because I've seen some of the defensive stats and how they I'm not moved. So for me, I definitely think Wemby should be in the conversation, but I definitely think there are other players who are more deserving. And I think the idea is that the award isn't about who's the best player in basketball; it's about who's the most valuable, and that is a clear distinction.
Jalen Brown.
I'm not mad at the Jalen Brown choice. Um, I just think that you could maybe. I think the Jalen Brown thing is because you believe that his team is playing better than they should have been, or better than you believe they would. And while I think that should matter, I don't think that should
No, I think it's more
also.
so like they maintained the status quo without their quote unquote best player, and he stepped up and filled a void. without another second best player, as some would say. Like now, not someone up to his caliber at least. Derek White is a damn good basketball player, but he's not like a Jalen Brown or Jason Tatum.
Yeah, I mean, you
And
paid two guys $300 million, so I get what you're
yeah,
saying from that point. Um, but I think even before the season, I think the people were. I think I looked at this the other day. They were projected to win 41 games. They've won 51. That's a 10. That's 10 more wins, and Jason Tatum has only played in 10 games. So I think it's pretty fair to say that he himself has eclipsed what people thought they would do during the offseason. But to me, I don't think that's enough to win MVP. Like, has he been playing some of the best basketball? Yeah, but I don't know if he's been playing better basketball than like a SGA, if that makes sense.
no, not at all. Oh shit, I would say fucking what's the name too? That big
Who?
motherfucker averaging a triple.
Yeah, and you know what the thing about Jokic is? I think Jokic. I know people want to say fatigue, but I don't know if it's as fatigue as there. People want to see
There's
more.
several miles on a
People want to
case
see
to
more
get to
dominance.
Kentucky One Picture Cut.
Like people want to see dominance from somebody like Jokic when he's doing all the triple double stuff. Like he's averaging a triple double, and they're what, fourth, fifth in the West right now. So I think people see the gaudy stats, but it doesn't really move them in the way. I think that happened to Westbrook. After Westbrook won the first MVP with the triple double, he had two or three more seasons. If he didn't average a triple double, he was damn near close. It was
He
No, he
averaged
showed a
it.
jump. He had three straight
He,
years of TDs.
he had
So
three straight, and people were basically like, "We already,
and
see, we were like, they were like, we already saw you do this once."
but were his teams like championship contenders too?
Uh,
no,
no, but was Joker's team a championship contender last year?
Some would say.
Well, that's my point. Like, if I go back, I know one of those years that Westbrook did it. They lost in the second round. So if losing in the second round is the barometer,
Joker got swept last year.
I have a great Joker stat. In 7 playoff appearances, he's been past the second round twice. The year he won the finals and the year they went to the Western Conference Finals versus the Lakers. Most of the time, Jokic either loses in the first round, or either he wins the first round and loses in the second, or yeah, that's like he's been to 7 playoff appearances. Twice has he advanced past the second round. So like this idea that Jokic just is like roll the ball out there and you're gonna like be competing for a championship. I think that's something that people have kind of conjured up, and that's not like an actual reality. Like,
No, I was just saying in comparison to Russ when he averaged his triple.
okay, I think that's fair. I think his team was definitely better than Russ's team because
Yeah.
Russ, I think, averaged one of those on the Wizards.
sure did.
So that was one of
They were
those.
going fucking nowhere fast.
Yeah. So and that
Still
was
going in the same
they didn't,
direction.
they didn't even do the play in that year, did they?
I think they was trying for it. It just didn't happen.
Yeah. So I'll give you that point that he wasn't as successful in his triple double stretch as Jokic was as a team. But that's my point. Like Jokic hasn't been, I would say, what we would consider successful as far as MVP standards. Like his team ain't been fighting for the best record in the league, have they? They've just been kind of a middling team in the Western Conference.
The thing about the Jokic numbers for me though is literally every year they just keep getting better. Like his averages will keep going up compared to his MVP years, which is crazy. So that's that's where I think the fatigue sets in. I don't know. It's just like
Also, to your point, but like I know people will say like, what does it have to do with it? But I think it has to. People thought of his teammates as lesser than. Like people think of Jamal Murray much more in a much higher regard now or the last couple of years than they did when he first won. And as much as people don't want to admit, it's a narrative award. If you can make people believe that
Is that because he wasn't an All Star?
he just became an all star this year. I would argue it was the playoffs. It was that when they went to that first playoff run that I said
The
Jokic
bubble jump?
in 2020. Yeah, the bubble when he scored I think 50 in the playoffs or whatever.
Him and Donovan Mitchell going back and forth.
I think it was after that that people were like, no, because Jokic won his MVP, his first MVP the next year, and either Murray was hurt or Murray in a lot of people's minds had regressed from what they thought he was doing in the bubble. They go the year after that, Jokic goes to the Western Conference Finals, correct? And I think people were finally like, oh, Jokic is about to be in conference. It was the Giannis when Giannis went to the Eastern Conference Finals in 2019. Oh, he's just gonna keep doing this. Giannis will be back, but and then what happened? Giannis has won the finals and hasn't won a playoff round since. All I'm saying is that a lot of times the perception or this idea around you plays a large role into winning these awards and whatnot. And Jokic to me is a prime example. On Maddie's point, the numbers have gotten better. The narrative around him hasn't. Nothing has really changed for people to say, "Oh, you deserve this MVP." If anything, it's made it harder for him. Oh, your teammates are better now. Why aren't you guys the number one seed? Why aren't you guys always in late finals runs?
They fired our coach.
Bro, they fired your coach. Literally fired your coach before the start of a playoff run. Come on, man. If that happened to a lot of other superstars, we'd be having a lot of different conversations about
Weren't
getting
they on
coached
like an 8-10 run or some shit?
to end the season last year.
To the year that Mike got fired, the coach.
Yeah, but before they fired him, like, yeah,
Yeah,
he was on
he
like,
was like he was on a crazy winning streak, and they still fired the
yeah. So for me, like, to me, if Denver like gets out the playoffs early this year, I'm very curious at what's the conversation. Like, what are the talking points? Because nobody has been healthy this year. You can't. I don't think you can say OKC hasn't had Jalen Williams for like 50, 60 games. Their second best player, all NBA player, has barely played.
nigga. So they missed almost 20.
The Lakers, they've had a bunch of injuries. LeBron here, Luca has been relatively straight the full season, but they don't really got nobody past Luca and Reeves and LeBron. Minnesota and is not even eligible for postseason awards because of his injuries. Uh, the Rockets might be the one team that seems to be healthy. Like from the they haven't had their point guard all
I, wa-
season.
I, I was waiting for it to hit
They
you.
haven't- but see that's the thing. He hasn't been there all season. So to me, I don't even think of him as part of the team because when the year started, he wasn't there. It wasn't like they had him and they lost him.
But what's that one glaring thing that they've
They
been
don't have no
missing all
point
year?
guard. They don't have no
All
point guard.
right.
So I agree with you. So my thing is when I look at the West, you can't even make the excuse that like, oh, we're injured because
Wemby was hurt.
Wemby was hurt.
Everybody was hurt.
Wemby actually came off the bench for a stretch during the season because of his injuries. So for me, there's no excuses for any. Like this is the perfect year for everybody because there's no excuses. You can't say, "Oh, we were hurt, they weren't." No, we've all been hurt. Now, are some of us more or less hurt now? Sure, but no one has been healthy. No one has had this kind of full season of continuity.
Shit, I'm about to say it's Cade.
You go to the
and
East. You go to the East. The Cavs is a whole new team. They traded their starting point guard for James Harden and Josh and Allen, the big dude. Jared Allen is just
yeah,
coming back from an injury. We know the Celtics, Jason Tatum stuff. The Knicks might be one of the more healthy teams, but whatever.
they
Uh,
they could- they mentally unhealthy.
type shit. The Sixers, come on, like that's the only thing is health, 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 health.
Yeah,
So for me,
they've been trying to refresh that page on the internet for like 3 years.
like this is the
For that
one
show.
season where when you look, like I said, when I look across the landscape of the NBA, I have to say to myself, everybody, not everybody, but the teams that you think have a chance, they legitimately have a chance. Like this isn't one of those, oh, I'm just saying it to say no. Like I look 1 through 6 in both conferences, and I go, okay, Yeah, they could do that. They could do that. I don't think in my adult life there's been an NBA this wide open. Now, if you made me bet, I would probably take OKC right now because, I have respect for the champs and for the most part, they've been the best team in basketball all season. So
Let me check these Hawks odds, man.
I'll keep that what it is. But I don't think you can actually make a point that wouldn't. I don't think you can make a salient point that says one team is just clearly the favorite over every other team. I think you would be lying. I think you can make arguments for it in different ways, but you know, it's a very open field.
Okay, my last thing on the Jalen Brown for the season: 28.87 and 5. Last 10, where we at, where we at, where we at? 31, 6 and 6.
Listen, those are MVP numbers. Like, don't get it twisted. This is the year between how open it is the championship and the MVP race. I think this is probably like the most competitive or like open we've had for a very, very long time.
I mean, it's very funny how this is still like a topic and all these. It's literally SGA. Like everyone's doing all this. I
Hey,
mean,
brother, we're just a sports show.
I know. But I'm just talking about the Chads and TVs and
Well,
all this. Like I'm
you know
trolling
what?
with the Luca, but it's literally SGA. Like
I don't
it's
think
literally all fun and games.
I
Like
don't think
it's
you're wrong, but I think it's one of those things where it should be more clear cut if we're gonna just do that. Like it's not as clear cut as I. You even said today, if Wemby gets the number one overall seed, you wouldn't have a. So then it can't just be SGA then.
But it is. I mean, I'm just telling you what the things are saying, bro. Like niggas is like, oh, this and that for our cats, and then he just drops 47 on cats, and
That
then it's
is
just
it.
like, and then it's just like, all
But
right,
see,
all right, buddy.
that's
This is why you're gonna go back to back. Sure.
and that's the point. I think it speaks more to SGA's dominance. Like that's what I think is important. That SGA in a year where you had Jalen Brown's numbers, Luca's numbers, Wemby's numbers, Jokic numbers, shit, K's numbers until he got hurt. You had people who legitimately had MVP numbers, the reigning MVP and the dude with the best record. Every time someone gets close, he decides to be like,
Fuck that.
I'm going to reinsert myself. So that's why I agree with you. He's the MVP right now. But
Minus 350.
bro, if somebody else, if
I
when
saw
bro,
minus 425.
Wemby has done basically I think 25 and 15 the last 5 games.
This is
Like
ESPN
like that's if he does that and he's gunning for it. Like that's the difference between some of these other. Wemby seems to really be wanting to go win this MVP award. Like he seems to be
though. Plus
trying his
250 on
hard,
ESPN.
playing fourth quarters versus very bad teams, like staying in, playing whole fourth quarters versus bad teams.
What is this, year 2 or 3 for him? Tell him calm the fuck down, man.
This year two technically though, right?
Yeah, because
Calm
he was
down,
hurt, but
man.
not. But listen, in the NBA, you gotta win when you have the chance, bro. Because
Get a Finals MVP. Call it a day.
if you don't, you end up being like who's a cat I can think of who went to a finals or had a lot of success early and just never had it again. Like I feel as though that happens a lot more in the NBA than we might want to give credit for. Like cats do jump out there and they do really well, and then it's kind of like, oh, where where are you at? Are you gonna come back here again? And I think that has to because the NBA is an organizational thing. Like for a long time, only 8 teams had won an NBA championship from 1983 to 2010. There had only been 8 teams that had won an NBA championship. So you had to be on the right
I was gonna
organization.
say Charles Barkley, but I'm just trying to think of somebody more recent.
Nah, like I can't like I wouldn't say Melo because like Melo only got to like a Western Conference Finals with Denver, but even something like that, like a guy who he didn't sniff anything close to that ever again. Like, and that was within like his first 5 to 6 years in the league. I think of guys like Tyreek Evans, who rookie of the year, people were like, oh, he's about to be all these types of things, and then it just doesn't happen. So
I'm thinking I like Devin Booker, man. One finals for that man. You know,
Isaiah Thomas, when he had his 29, when he averaged 30,
Kill.
everyone was like, oh, Isaiah Thomas had like a 2 3 year stretch, and then it was done. Devin, Giannis won a finals and
Book has
has not
quietly had a season.
I love everything about his season.
has not won a playoff round since. We're going on 6 years.
Giannis, yeah, for sure.
Like that, you have to get your chance when you get your chance. The Sixers, bro, the Sixers have been doing this thing since I was in college. This process, da 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 da, and the furthest they've gotten is a
Yeah. You've
dude.
been telling you've been telling me the Sixers gonna do something when Drew Holiday was there.
Like they're still talking about Kawhi Leonard, the ball bouncing around the rim. Like that's what there's almost 7 years later. So for me, if you have a chance, Indiana Pacers with Paul George and them, they had went back to back Eastern Conference Finals
That's the person you were looking for.
versus the Miami Heat, and everyone swore that Paul George, Roy Hibbert, George Hill, um, West, they were all gonna just, they would get over the hump. Derrick Rose, there's there like there's
Injury, injury.
but that's the thing. All these injuries, new teams, all these different things can happen to a player's career
All right.
that ultimately play
Okay.
a part.
T
So
Mac, Grant Hill.
listen, T Mac was up what 3-1 and was like, yeah, I'm in the next round, da da da. Didn't see a second round until he ended up on the was it the
Spurs.
Rockets or the Spurs when he.
Spurs.
So I mean, listen, I think like I said, this NBA season is very very interesting because
Doc Rivers has killed so many careers.
shout out to Doc Rivers going to the Hall of Fame because it's so wide open. It's so wide open. Oh, before we get out of here, shout out to WNBA. They
Oh
we
yeah.
I don't think we were here when we didn't acknowledge that they signed their
They
CBA. They're back. They'll be having their expansion draft. I think this weekend, tomorrow,
Yeah,
Friday,
it's
correct?
tomorrow, 3:30.
Friday expansion draft. So shout out to the WNBA. Shout out to them making sure they got the girlies paid.
that's what's
Um,
up.
yeah. Anything? Oh, and then the final four, men's and
Why
women.
did well, hold on before we move on.
I'm,
Why the
I'm done
fuck
after the final.
what no, no, I'm just saying. Okay, bet we can finish with the final four, but I love Pat McAfee's show. Like it's very good for it's entertaining. I'm not gonna say it's very good. It's very entertaining. It's good for entertainment purposes. I really need professional individuals of high standing to stop going on there for interviews. I'm gonna
Why?
leave that. I'm gonna leave that there, but I'm gonna really need that to stop happening. I understand he's in the sports world. Y'all are in the sports world, but we need that to stop happening.
Yeah, I don't really know how. I don't really. Yeah, I don't really get this one.
We can talk offline about that one. But we just need that nigga because all right, fuck it. He doesn't interview. Like he doesn't interview. Like the one that really pissed me off was the NFLPA guy going on there with no pushback. Cause just like he always talks about journalism and all of this, all of that. And then it's just like you have chances to do journalism and then like actually get pushback to the people that say you don't do journalism. But then when people say things like blatantly, like, oh yeah, well, he reported lies, and then instead of you following up being like, so what did he say that was a lie? You just allow him to say that's a lie and then continue on and then continue lies. And then 24 hours later, Pablo Torre comes out exposing those lies that he lied about and all of that. And then the Kathy goes on the jump. I didn't even watch that interview because I knew it was going to be a lot of fluff. Because I felt like she's been ducking the media ever since the CBA negotiations have been going on. So it's just like, yeah. And I really want her to actually have a real conversation with some people other than Bloomberg and stuff like that, like actual sports journalists. So, like, you know what I'm saying? I just want people to actually go and talk to the people that have been reporting on the actual issues, since the issues have been happening. That's all, Charles. Like I'm not a journalist, but I'm actually very happy the fact that you pulled me and Nomadic into this podcast space. And, like you respect us enough to report on certain things. Like you're a whole journalist, my nigga. Like I feel as though you should be more upset than I am that these people don't
Well,
actually get interviewed by actual journalists.
no. Maybe I'm in the wrong, but I've grown to like Pat Mack, and I think Pat
Oh
Mack.
no, I fuck with them, but it's just like I don't like the interview.
To that point, this would be my pushback to that. When Pat Mack does a thing where I think he knows what he doesn't know.
For sure.
Prime example when Caitlin Clark, when that whole thing was very boom boom boom, he would have Iowa beat reporters every week or whatever come on his show and basically wax poetic about her. And to me, there's something that I have to respect about somebody understanding that they might not be an expert, but using their platform to bring in other experts to speak about it. Now, to your point about pushback, that is just I think a consumer perspective. Like you see something and you believe that it should be done a certain way, and I don't think you're wrong, but I don't think for me the platform he works on, ESPN, that's what's going on there. Like push.
I was about to say that's more so my bigger issue, just
Well,
that like
that's just
Pat
me.
McAfee just happened to be the platform that I saw
Yeah,
it
that's
on.
what I'm saying. I don't think it's fair for him because that is just
Cause
an industry. We just talked about this with Jay Z. His interview was a very much so a fluff piece. It was a PR piece. That's normally what interviews in this day and age are. They're PR packages for said person. They're not, to your point, um, some endeavor into journalism. They're not some, want to kind of figure out this person's life, this person's story. It's literally, hey, this person has a curated um, idea of themselves, and they're trying to sell it to us. So once again, I don't think it's right. I don't necessarily think it's wrong. I just think it is kind of a function of the world we live in. But I think you should be able to. You should feel like, yo, he doesn't do a good enough job for that, and he should be critiqued for that. But like I said, my only pushback would be I don't know if that's what Pat is even intending to do. So I don't
yeah,
want.
for sure. But that's not a shot at Pat McAfee. It's just like it was the most frontal lobe thing on my mind. Cause it's like, nah, dead ass. Cause like I actually like I sit down and watch like all 3 hours of the Pat McAfee episodes when I get a chance to. Like when we get off of this John, I'll probably go watch the 215 John that dropped today. So it's just like no fun. But it's just like at the same time, it's like I fuck with him so much that I would really rather him be like good at it. Cause it's just like
Yeah,
it
but that's
blows.
what I'm saying. I think I think you want him
Oh
to be
yeah, I'm
better.
just talking about me personally.
Yeah,
But when it comes to the whole scope of things, like my main issue for real is just like my nigga, like as somebody in like, okay, you're the head of the NFLPA, you are the commissioner of the WNBA, like you are somewhat in like of status of an elected official. Like if you're of this status, you should be able to be held accountable and to answer said questions. That's why you get paid so much fucking money.
yeah.
Like you don't do shit else. You talk twice a year, my nigga. Like, okay, you should be able to get in front of a microphone for 90 minutes and answer the tough questions. And that's only 15 minutes of it because the other ones is questions that your PR person gave me. So it's just like, but yeah, bro, like that's all it is, bro. Like I just like in in this day and age, especially with us talking all this politics and shit, bro. It's just like I'm the accountability, like no one having it and everyone throwing it by the wayside, is really starting to piss me off.
I know Pat Mack is your guy, James. So
I mean, this is his opinion, as he said. I don't agree. I mean, but I'm not gonna lie. I queued up the Kathy today. I watched it for all of 3 minutes because I too was confused. Like, why Kathy? Why is Pat interviewing Kathy? But as you said,
And I say I didn't even watch the jump, but
I
like
didn't want to, but I was bored, and I was like, let me see what the fuck is going on. But to me, as a Pat McAfee show member since 2018, subscribed and all, I've seen it all. So I don't think his goal is to do journalism. I really think he just trying to have a
not at all,
conversation.
bro.
I think he just conversates with people. And now he's at ESPN, and it's probably like, hey, somebody's got to talk to Kathy. Everyone likes talking to Pat. Go to Pat's show and just talk about the CBA. I think that's why someone that, like you said, of her status was on that show today. Because why the hell they don't know anything about WNBA besides Caitlin Clark? We all know this. Like they're in Indiana, and this is what they did when they were popping. And her, like that's all they had was Caitlin Clark. So it's just like there's no need for her to be on that show. But I'm not mad because that's my guy. So
That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not mad at it, but it's just like at the end of the day, it's just like, come on, bro. Like at least make the interview we comfortable. Like, you know what I'm saying? But like, I feel like we talked too much about this. But once again, this is not a Pat McAfee thing. It's just more so like the fact that PR companies, I guess you could say, are going specifically after certain people so that their individual that they're representing doesn't have to take the fastball, they can take the underhand lob.
I mean, yeah, I mean that's their job. That's the job of the PR person to cultivate a very specific idea of an individual. Uh,
I guess I should have said Netanyahu on the Nelk Boys.
Maybe, I don't know. This is a good Thursday night banter, you guys. I hope you guys appreciated not much politics today, but
Go Yukon, go Michigan.
yes, final. Oh, yes, Final Fours. The women all number one seeds and all the same seeds from last year. Um, so shout out to them. UConn, Texas, UCLA, South Carolina. I think those will be some good games. On the
Go
men's
Texas.
on the men's side, we have UConn, Illinois, Arizona, Michigan. Um, Michigan and Arizona have probably been two of the three best teams all season, and UConn has been has been pretty good all season as well. So I think this is a good Final Four as far as
I think
teams
they've
that
been
have
outside the top five all year.
been good all year. So shout out to them. Even Illinois, they had a really good Big Ten run. I don't think they won the Big Ten tournament, but they came. I think they were in the Big Ten 25, if I remember correctly, or they lost in
it
the semis.
was
Whatever.
Mish Purdue in the finals.
Oh yes, I'm sorry,
They
because
lost to Purdue.
Purdue won the actual tournament. But like I said, Michigan has Illinois rather has had a really good run this Big Ten season. So even though they might not have been one of the better teams all season, they have been a really good team. So it should be
They
good.
got hot at they got hot at the right time though.
That's
But
very true.
Pedro Stojakovic's son, he's been hooping off the bench as a Big Ten play. So they got a good squad.
Yes, and then shout out to Arizona because if Arizona wins, they will be the first team from
West of
West
the
of
Mississippi.
Mississippi to win a NCAA tournament since 1997, and the last team to do that was, you guessed it, Arizona. Lou Olson and his Arizona team, and I believe it was 1997, right? Yes, 1997. They won.
What was that, Mike Bibby in it?
Yes, sir. And it's funny because Baylor did win. Baylor and Kansas have won national championships, and they're pretty west, but not as west as I think one may think. In particular, Baylor, because it's Texas, right? But yes, not further west than the Mississippi. So shout out to those guys. Shout out to the Final
But that's
Four.
like closer to Corpus Christi and all that there.
I actually Texas is way too big for me, so I have no idea where Baylor is. I just know where Houston is. That's all I got for Texas. So.
Can't wait to go back.
Uh, Anything else we need to say before we get up out of here, fellas?
Like, comment, subscribe, and get off Jay-Z dick.
Go blue.
Go UConn.
Yeah, I've seen UConn win a national championship, so I would like to see another one. I was actually at the Final Four in Houston.
I remember.
It was a good time. So shout out to Houston. Shout out to Indianapolis because the Final Four will be in Indiana this year. So big shout out to all the basketball people in the Hoosier State and go basketball.
Yay sports.
Yay sports. Yay team. All right, y'all. See ya. Oh, and any
Oh, we're still going.
no, just any last apologies because we started with apologies. I don't know if we want to end with apologies. No.
People apologize at the beginning.
Oh, no, sorry. You did not apologize. That is correct. So you are right.
Uh,
Clarity.
Goodbye.
Clarity.